I don't want to pretend like I know you. I don't want to pretend like I know the cause of what is feeling or making you feel depressed, making you feel sad, making you feel down. But whatever the cause is, whatever the reason you feel down, whatever the reason you feel this way, whatever the reason you feel depressed, I'm here to tell you that if you listen to every word I say and watch to the end of this video, you have a full outline of the path for you to cure yourself of depression. So if you're ready, let's get into it. This is a very personal video to me because I feel like me making this video is somehow talking to my past self, because I experienced the same thing that you guys are experiencing about just a year ago, very, very recently. And I'll walk you through the path I took and how I basically just got over it. It didn't take very long for me to get over it. It wasn't something that lingered for about a year or for months. It lingered for about maybe a week and some days, but I got over it in the end. So let me tell you a short story of how I felt depressed, and in the end I got over it. And this was the first time ever that this ever happened to me in my life. But about a year ago or so, I finished my undergrad and I was transferring to grad school. I was going to grad school because I wanted to further my education and other things. So I had to find a place. I applied to different schools. I applied all around, and I got this particular school. I got into this particular school, but it was in another state entirely, like a whole different state from the one I was in, from where I schooled in my undergrad and where I was living. So basically I had to go travel. When it was time for me to leave, I had to travel to another state entirely. I was the only person there. I had no family, nobody I really knew. I was just the only person there. Like I was isolated in a way. And then this was when I got to that school eventually. At first everything seemed cool, everything was fine, everything seemed nice, but there was a change of people, was a change of culture, a change of environment. The way people react, the way people talk, everything just changed. I had no friends at the beginning. Everything was fine, but as it kept on going, I figured that I knew people, but I didn't really have any friends. I didn't really have any events that I was going to, or any events that surprised me. And like, this particular school is not as big as my other school, or as my last school, my undergrad. It's a very small, it's a small school, and everybody is close together and they know each other. So there were not so many people to go around. I'll just say it like that. And if you're someone here, and I felt like I already spoke to everybody, although I know I haven't spoken to everybody in the school, but I just wasn't able to find someone that I wanted to be friends with. I could have been friends with people, but they didn't just align with what I wanted. My life was basically boring and bored, and all I was doing was just studying, doing work, and coming back to my bed and sleeping and eating. That's all I was doing for weeks, months. That's what I'll be doing. I'll go to the gym, wake up early in the morning, go to the gym, go to work, go to school, do some work, sleep. That's all I eat and sleep. That's all I did for weeks and weeks and weeks and months. And I was bored and tired. And my friends, the people that I actually knew that were my genuine friends, I could only reach them on a phone call. And if you already know, there are only so many phone calls that you can make in a week before you start seeming like a desperate or clingy person. So this was the situation I was in. This was a situation that basically made me start to feel down. I started to feel sad. I started to feel depressed. I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I felt very, very down. And it's never happened to me in my life before. I felt down. But because of my mind, because of things that I expected of myself, and I still expect of myself, I got over it. And I'm fine, as you can see. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the things that I did to get over it. Depression is just your body sending you a message that it does not like the situation that it is in right now. It's basically your body sending you a message that it does not like how life is going and it wants a change. And if you go ahead and act and make that change, that is ultimately how you cure depression. There are 5 steps to curing depression. Step 0, first of all, is stop identifying yourself as depressed. See, let me tell you a secret of the world. Every single word that comes out of your mouth is self hypnosis. And it ultimately will come out to be true. Whatever you say about yourself, whatever you prophesy for yourself, whatever comes out of your mouth will become true. So you see, I'm a person of African inheritance. And back in my home country, Nigeria, both of my parents were pastors and they had a church that we used to run. And basically we used to have these meetings in church early in the morning. On Sunday mornings at 7 a.m., we would expect every person that works at the church to be in church by 7 a.m. And we're going to have a 1 hour meeting from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And basically sometimes some people miss the meetings or something. They don't come early, or they come late, or something is up with them. So when someone misses a meeting, they don't come early or they don't come to church at all that day, we send them a message. We ask them, "Oh, what's going on with you? Like, why haven't been coming? Why aren't you active recently? What's going on?" And whenever they're asked, I always hear, especially like when they come to church eventually, my parents eventually ask them, "So you've missed a couple of weeks of church. Is there anything wrong with you? Is there anything like that has been going on that we do not know about? Please let us know." And I was there as a kid when these people would always say that they were strong. So basically, my parents would ask them, "What's going on with you? Like, are you fine?" I'd be like, "No, I'm just strong." And I didn't understand that as a kid. I was like, I didn't understand. And as a kid, I did not understand that this was sarcasm. I didn't understand that. Like my little kid brain did not understand sarcasm at that time. So I would take whatever they say literally. I'd be like, "Okay, you're strong. Okay, if you're strong, then why couldn't you come for the church meeting? Like, what is going on?" So me, my curious little child brain, I went to ask my mom a question. I was like, "So whenever you ask these people that miss the church meetings or they don't come to church at all, whenever they miss the service, you ask them what's wrong with them. And they reply that they're fine, they're just strong. I don't understand. What if they're, and I'll be like, "Mom, I don't understand. If they're fine, why are they not coming to church? If they're strong, if they are so strong, why are they not coming to church?" And my mom literally laughed. And then she explained to me that they are actually not fine, but they will not be the ones to prophesy or say out of their own mouth that they are sick. Because if you say that you are sick, you're admitting yourself to be sick, and you will be sick. You're letting that sickness take power over you, and you will be sick. This is the reason why we do not say bad things about ourselves. Because whatever comes out of your mouth is convincing your mind to believe that it is true. If you say that you're stupid, you're a piece of shit, you're sick, then you will be all those things. And if you say that you're the best, you're the baddest guy, you're the man, then you will be all those things. It works the same way. So stop saying bad things about yourself. Say good things. From this moment on, you are not depressed. You're fine. You're strong. And most of all, you're healthy. Now, I'm not saying that if you go to your doctor that you should not tell him that you're actually feeling depressed or that you're not fine, whatever. Tell the doctor the truth, because he's the doctor, he's meant to, like, he wants to help you get better actually. But for the most part, if other people ask you if you're fine or if you're depressed, tell them you're not. Tell them you're strong. You're fine. There's nothing they need to worry about. Now, number one, step one is to acknowledge that your body is sending you a message. What I mean by this is acknowledge that your body is sending you a message and make sure that you receive the message that your body is sending you. Let me tell you something about emotions, just real quick. Depression is something that most people, if you actually go out there and experience the world, most people will feel at one point in their life. Everybody's gonna feel sad. Everybody's gonna feel down. Everybody's gonna feel like the problems are overwhelming them and they can't do anything about it, and it's fine. But in that moment, what you should do is allow yourself to feel it. If your body is telling you that you're sad or sending sadness to you, or if that's the emotion you're feeling, if that's the emotion that you're feeling right now, allow yourself to feel it. Don't block the emotions by taking drugs or indulging in other things like taking drugs, smoking weed, getting drunk. Any of those things are going to block the emotions that your body is sending to you. And when you block them, they don't go away. They stay there. You're storing them. And it's going to keep compiling and compiling and compiling. And it's going to snowball into this big whole ball And finally, when you get out of your high and when you become sober again, it's all that big ball, all that big lump of sadness is just gonna dump on your head. Like your body is the universe is basically going to dump a whole big ball of sadness on your head, and then you actually feel even more depressed than before you smoked or drank or did anything like that. So cut out all the drugs, cut out all the smoking, cut out all everything. Allow yourself to feel this depression. If you're depressed, allow yourself to feel it. If you're sad, allow yourself to feel it. If you're down right now, allow yourself to be down. Let the emotion come and go. But you must be stable in the storm. Sit down and let the storm around you keep on raging throughout your environment. And eventually, when it's poked you enough and it hasn't seen a reaction from you, it will leave. That's how emotions work. So now we come to step two. This is getting into the harder part now, where you have to actually take action. All the other parts was just about mindset. So now that you've gotten your mindset right, you have to take action. So for step two, you have to acknowledge that you have the power to change your situation. When I was feeling depressed, what I noticed that helped me get over my depression or get cured like almost instantly was because I never stopped moving. I never stopped doing something. I never stopped working. Like whenever I felt bad, I felt down, I'll still get up from bed. Maybe it might not be at the time I want to get up, but I would still get up and I would still do something because my mind wouldn't let me rest. My mind would not let me sit down in bed all day doing nothing when it knows that it has tasks that need to be done. Remember, your body is sending you a message that it does not like the situation that it's in right now. So you have to acknowledge that you have the power to change that. If you want to become cured of depression, you have the power to change whatever situation you are in. And to do that is very easy. Right now, you feel sad, you feel like you don't want to do anything, you feel like you want to lay in bed all day. But I implore you not to do that. First of all, what you should do after watching this video is make a small list of little things that you can do every day. Little things that you know are going to be productive. What does a productive day look like to you? At the end of the day, what does a productive day look like to you? So now make a list of little things, little easy tasks that you can complete throughout the day and make sure that you do them the next day. It could be wake up at 6 a.m., maybe go to the gym, maybe maybe after you wake up, lay in your bed and just not staying in bed all day. When you wake up, don't use your phone. You could be not using your phone for 1 hour after you wake up. Whatever it is for you, make a list of simple productive tasks that you can do every day. And this will ultimately help you. And that's why I'm telling you right now. Do your tasks. Make sure that you set a list of things that you have to do and make sure that you do them every day. They should be simple tasks, because right now you feel like you don't need to do anything. You feel like you don't want to do anything. You feel down, you feel sad. So make them simple enough for you to just get up and do in an instant. And make sure that you get up and do them. That's all you have to do. Start small, and then when you wake up, when you lay your bed, when you when you get off your phone, when you do not use your phone for about 1 hour after you wake up, then you can start getting ready, going into the gym, getting a six-pack, doing all those things, like getting your diet right, changing your lifestyle basically. From little by little steps, and then getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That's how you do. You progressively overload. Step 3 is to cut out vices from your life. Cut out bad people from your life. Cut out people that do not make you feel. Anybody that makes you feel less than, cut them out. Anything that makes you feel less than, cut them out. Any bullies in your life, deal with them, cut them out. Anybody at all that just makes you feel less than or anything, cut them out. You have to change your environment, guys. Change the things around you. If you can change your reality, if you can change your environment to one that you like, to one that you love, to one where everybody loves you, everybody makes you feel like a king that you are, or like a queen that you are, and everybody just cares so much about you, then there's no way you'll be depressed. You won't. So change your environment. Anything that you do not like, anything that makes you feel bad, anything that makes you feel less than, avoid it and cut it out. But while you're feeling sad, while you're feeling depressed, you must be productive. Do something. Because what you do not know is that you can outwork however you feel. You can outwork your depression. You can outwork your sadness. You can outwork whatever thing that is making you feel less than. And at the end of your depression cycle or your depression phase, you just notice that you're on a way different level than when you started or than before you got depressed. Because you've just been putting your head down and working, being productive at something. That ultimately will give you fulfillment. Do you know what the opposite of depression is? Fulfillment, which is what you want to give yourself by doing things that are productive. You see, it really comes down to common sense. Depression is not an incurable disease like the doctors tell you. Just because a doctor says that you're depressed doesn't mean that you're done for. No, it's not like a helpless situation because whatever ultimately if you're depressed, the responsibility falls on you to get yourself out of that situation. And nobody else, no matter how they try, even your doctor can't get you out of it. Even the drugs that they give you, the SSRIs or whatever that they recommend to you, can't get you out of it. You yourself have to get yourself out of depression. And anybody who has ever gotten themselves out of depression can attest to this. Anybody who has ever experienced depression can know that they, by themselves, got themselves out of depression. It was not the meds. It was not the doctor. It was not whatever any outside force did. It was because they decided to change. That's why they are not depressed anymore. So now that brings us to the last but not the least. Step 4. Temper your mind. And I'm saying this because when you temper your mind, when you build mental fortitude in your head or in your mind, you will notice that after you get over this depression, you can never really be depressed again. You might feel sad, you might feel depressed, you might feel let down, you might feel just less than, because life will hit you with challenges every time, like I said, but you will ultimately not be depressed. And even though you do feel depressed, it won't last for long. It'll take you just a week or maximum a week to get over it. And that's how it was for me. If you talk about my country, Nigeria, it's not a very privileged country, but my family was privileged in an unprivileged country. I grew up in a privileged environment in an unprivileged country, but that does not mean that my parents did not teach me the realities of life and make me also go through them myself. So when you are taught the reality of life by your parents, ultimately you just start to build that mental fortitude for yourself. When you go through some kind of hardship in your life, mental fortitude is what you build. And this is the point where I say stop running away from hardness. Stop running away from strictness. Stop running away from hardness. Stop running away from difficulty, because that is what will give you the mindset to never be depressed again. And at this point in my life, I can say that I can never be depressed. And if I do feel depressed, because life is going to hit me with so many challenges, I will get over it almost instantly, because I have control and I have mental fortitude. So begin to control your mind. And how to do this, what mental fortitude is, just to break it down to the simplest thing that I can explain to you, is when you have expectations of yourself, you might expect things for your body to do. Then that is mental fortitude. When your mind expects your body to have done something or to have had a productive day at the end of every day, that is called mental fortitude. And that was ultimately the reason why I got over my depression so easily, because I had this expectation of myself. I could not go through a whole day, be in bed, be on my phone, doing nothing. I couldn't. I had to have had a productive day. And that was the expectation that my mind put on my body. You have to start building these expectations for yourself. Build expectations for yourself every day that once your head hits the pillow, you must have had a productive day. You must have at least done something productive, something to move forward in the next step or the next level. That's how it is. That's how you have to be. So, with that said, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope that you guys learned something good in this video. I hope that this video was productive to you and it was informative to you. And you now have, and like I said, at the end of this video, you will have a path you can follow to cure yourself of depression, which you now do. So follow every step I've said in this video and you will be cured of your depression. With that said, that'll be all. Have a good day and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.